Toyota Highlander.
All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2022 Toyota Highlander, finished in midnight black metallic. Just got it washed up. It looks pretty dang good, I gotta be honest. But anyways, let's go ahead and start up front on this one. Front grille, of course, is going to differ amongst the trim levels. You're either going to get chrome, silver, or black surrounds, depending upon the particular trim level that you go with the XSE being more of the sportier trim level, at least in appearance. That is why we're going to have gloss black surrounds, which look dang good on a black exterior. So that's just my personal opinion. Silver accenting then found on the lower portion of that front bumper, only if you go with the platinum trim level. That makes sense. It's more of the prestigious trim level, so to speak. To the sides, LED headlights do come standard on every single trim level across the board for added illumination at night. Automatic feature, of course, coming with that as well, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, those headlights will turn on automatically for you there. LED daytime running lights also coming standard. LED fog lights with the LE trim level and up if you wanted them. And then you actually get high output LED fog lights only for the limited and platinum trim levels. But I also wanted to add, with that platinum trim level, you actually get adaptive front lighting, meaning when you're going around a bend at night, those headlights will swivel based on the direction of your steering angle, better help illuminating than what is around that bend. So it's kind of a safety feature in itself. And even the whole front fascia is going to differ amongst the trim levels. For example, if you look at this particular XSE trim level versus maybe an XLE, the XSE is going to have much more aggressive design as opposed to the LE trim level. So I wanted to mention that. Also really like the hood crease you guys can see here in the middle. That actually is very prominent when you're driving. I think it's a pretty cool look. It gives it more of a beefier feel when you're behind the wheel. But anyways, pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side of the Highlander. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, silver or gloss black roof rails come with the XLE trim level and up. Rear privacy glass is going to come standard for every single trim level across the board. Chrome beltline molding or gloss black molding in our particular case, since we have the XSE trim level. Gloss black A-pillar, you're not going to be able to obviously tell with a black exterior, but if we have maybe a silver or white exterior, or any other color really, there is going to be that gloss black A-pillar just above that side view mirror there. So I did want to emphasize that. Speaking of those side mirrors, they are body colored power adjustable side mirrors. They are heated with LED integrated turn signals as well for every single trim level across the board. No matte cladding on the side skirts either. Bravo Toyota. I love that they do this. So many SUVs out there put that matte black unpainted side skirts, and Toyota doesn't do that with the Highlander, so it looks so much more high-end, so much more finished, in my personal opinion. I particularly love it. Taking a look down at the wheel configuration, 18-inch alloys for the LE and XLE trims, 20-inch machine-finished alloys for the XSE, that obviously is what we have right now, 20-inch chrome alloys for the limited, and 20-inch silver alloys for the platinum. But pretty much rounds out the side of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, body colored shark fin antenna all the way to the top. Just below that, rear spoiler with an integrated brake light, a very aggressive looking rear spoiler as well. I like that. Just below that, rear window wiper. LED taillights then actually do come standard for every single trim level across the board. Gotta love that. Black rear bumper for the LE and XLE trims. Dark gray metallic finish for the limited and XSE trim levels, and then a gray metallic finish for the platinum. And then of course, just below it all, there will be a single exhaust outlet, slightly different configuration dependent upon the trim level that you go with. So for example, on the XSE, we have dual stainless steel tips. But having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. And so now since we are around back of the Highlander, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a power tailgate. If you were to go with the LE trim level and up, that is how you're going to go ahead and get that. There is a button on the key fob if you wanted to open that up. There's a button on the tailgate itself, of course, and a button by the driver's side lift knee then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 16 cubic feet even behind that third row. If you were to fold that third row down, that bumps it up to 48.4 cubic feet. And then with all rows folded down, that is going to come in at 84.3 cubic feet. So definitely a good bit of space there. Also found in that cargo area, there are 6 cargo tie-down anchors. You will find a couple of grocery bag hooks back there. There is a rear cargo cover if you were to go with the limited or platinum trim levels, and and there's actually some in-floor storage, which I love seeing as well. And so I usually put my ice scraper back there. Being in Western Maryland here, it's definitely something we use, so that is what I would recommend putting back there. But then making our way up to the third row legroom, that is going to come in at 27.7 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have back there. There is rear ventilation for all 3 rows, and the third row passengers actually do have a few cup holders back there then as well, but ultimately the third row is best left for children because it isn't a ton of space, but it should be able to fit a child. Then making our way to the second row legroom, that comes in at a very impressive adult-friendly 41 inches. Again, for reference, I'm even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in that second row. Bench seating can be found for the L, LE, and XLE trims. Captain's chairs, however, like we have today, can be found on the XSE, Limited, Platinum, and available for the XLE. I know that's a popular question for the Highlander, so did want to specify that there. Second row window sunshades can be found with the XLE trim level and up. I love that. If you go with the captain's chairs configurations, each captain's chair is going to give you kind of a folding armrest, which is pretty nice. If you go with the bench seating, you actually get a rear center armrest with cup holders. And if you go with the captain's chairs, again, you actually have cup holders between those 2 captain's chairs. So in case you were curious about where they were located, you actually can get heated second row seats then if you were to go with the Platinum. And there are dual rear USB charging ports then for those second row passengers as well. And they actually can set their own temperatures as well. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But making our way then to the front seats, cloth seating with the L and LE trim, Softex upholstery for the XLE and XSE trim levels, leather seating with the Limited and Platinum. And new for 2022, there are now height adjustable power front seats for the XLE trim level and up. So that's one of the minor changes for the 2022 Highlander there. 8-way power driver seat though, coming with the L and LE, and you will get power lumbar if you were to go with the XLE trim level and up. Heated and ventilated front seats coming with the Limited and Platinum, and then heated front seats coming with the XLE trim level and up. Overall, seating was plenty comfortable. It always is in Toyota. I never have any issues there. So definitely a good vehicle to go on a nice road trip to Ocean City, Maryland with. But so then taking a look at the steering wheel, it is tilt and telescoping. It is leather wrapped for the LE trim level and up, and then heated for the Limited and Platinum trim levels. Then making our way to the startup, let me start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Toyota Highlander badging on the one side, and then when you flip it over, it's pretty basic, but it's got what you need. Lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear hatch. But it is all keyless entry with a push button start for every single trim level across the board. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee then. But so once started up, tachometer is all the way to your left, speedometer is on your right. There is a fairly large digital display front and center to control what is on that digital display. There are steering wheel mounted controls found on the left side of the steering wheel there, and that gives you different information like digital speedometer, average miles per gallon at any given time, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, outside temperature, the list goes on. So pretty much everything you could possibly want on the digital portion of the gauges there. Then making our way to overall interior quality, there is a power moonroof for the XLE, XSE like we have today, and the Limited trim levels. But then if you were to go with the Platinum, you will get a panoramic glass roof, so definitely a good bit more light with that one. But overhead sunglass holder coming with all trim levels, and it actually comes with the rear conversation mirror, as Toyota calls it. I call it a school bus mirror, so you can essentially spy on the rear passengers. That's always fun. Auto dimming rear view mirror with home link controls coming with the XLE trim level and up, and that's for up to 3 different garage doors there. Tri-zone climate control for every single trim level across the board, so driver, passenger, and rear passengers can all set their own temperatures. Wireless phone charger with the XLE trim level and up. Ambient interior lighting for the Limited and Platinum. Driver voice projection system found just in front of the driver's side visor here. That's for every single trim level across the board, so you really get to be a school bus driver then. But overall, interior quality is actually pretty incredible. I gotta be honest, for this price point, you have some contrast stitching just above the passenger side glove box. I like this red and black contrast Softex upholstery that we have in this one. There's even a cool little carbon fiber-ish look just above the passenger side glove box as well. You have some added storage just above that passenger side glove box and just below the infotainment screen. Typically, that's storage that's eaten up by something else in other vehicles, so I like that Toyota added it here on the Highlander. Just in front of the shifter, you have a decent amount of storage there, perhaps for a cell phone. 3 USB charging ports, 12-volt power outlet. You also have dual cup holders. There's an electromechanical parking brake, and within the center armrest is actually where you're going to find your wireless phone charger, and of course, decent amount of storage with the 12-volt power outlet in there as well. So overall, I love the contrast colors, and overall interior quality is pretty dang good in this thing. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the tech display here. 8-inch color touchscreen display, essentially coming standard on all trim levels but the Platinum. Platinum's going to bump that up to a 12.3-inch color touchscreen display. Bluetooth and audio streaming do come standard. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay coming standard for all trim levels, but if you were to go with the LE trim level and up, it's then wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, so you gotta love that. Factory navigation system coming with the Limited and Platinum. Of course, you can check out your radio information up there. By the way, when it comes to the sound systems, you will find 6 speakers for the L, LE, XLE, and XSE trim. So although we have the XSE, we actually do have an upgraded sound system with ours today. We have an 11-speaker JBL sound system available for our XSE and coming standard with the Limited and Platinum. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on some Christmas music since we're in December, and let's test out the clarity of this one. I'll be home. Those old songs don't really showcase the capabilities of these new sound systems, if I'm being honest, but I could tell there was a good bit of bass, pretty good clarity, although that song was probably recorded in the 30s maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that sound system was plenty fine. JBL, I used to have a JBL subwoofer back in the day, one of my old cars, so they're definitely a very reputable company. But so then last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen is when you do put the Highlander in reverse, you of course will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. And if you were to go with the Platinum, you're going to get a 360-degree camera with a digital rear view mirror, which essentially gives you that rear view camera within that rear view mirror, which is pretty darn cool. But anyways, that as always is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, the Highlander is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the very highest designation given by IIHS, and that pretty much says it all right there. Front side curtain airbags do come standard, driver's knee airbag as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also for all trim levels, you will get Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus, which gives you a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, dynamic radar cruise control, lane departure alert, automatic high beams, lane tracing assist, and road sign assist then as well. Then if you were to go with the LE trim level and up, you're going to get a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. And lastly, Limited and Platinum trims are going to add front and rear parking sensors along with automatic braking then as well. So